try as much as possible to keep dairy at a minimum. Now, listen, I know people love dairy. We love our cheese. We love our sour. Who likes cheese? Who loves cheese? I do. I love cheese. Who drinks milk? Do people, you guys drink milk in your cereal? I don't really drink milk in my cereal, but I do love cheese. But I also know it's not really, really good for us, especially like Black folks. For some reason, you'll hear a lot of people say, I'm lactose intolerant, and that gives like a lot of gas. And lactose intolerant. So like your body, when it's like when your stomach is burbling and gurgling and doing all that stuff, that's your body saying, I don't like that. And what we're trying to do is listen to our bodies a little bit more, right? When we eat something, our stomach's going gurgling and burbling and all that kind of stuff, that's your body saying, I'm out. Now, I'm not saying that you should never, ever have dairy. Madison, I only drink it with cereal. Yeah. I'm not saying to never, ever have it. I'm suggesting to think about it, all right? The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention before we got into our lesson, and I also, parents, I'm not going to keep you guys on because I know kids, I've been going real long and kids will be like, bloop, bloop, too much. But I wanted you all to see, you guys got some stuff, but I wanted to bring your attention to this. This, you guys got some frozen spinach, right? And it says local spinach. And I don't know. Oh, nice. Hold it up, Jaden. Nice. Nice. I don't know if you read it, but all of this produce comes from local farms. And that means, local means within 50 miles around the city. So we get our produce from farmers in Pennsylvania, from New Jersey. Nice. Matter of fact, let's hold it up and I'll take a picture. If you have your spinach bag, let's take a picture of it. Nice. Great. Perfect. Beautiful. We get our farms, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, you can put them down. All of our produce in our bags that are coming every week are coming from local farmers. And the reason why that is really important, it's really good, is because when we get our food that's shipped from other places, like we get most of our strawberries, if you get strawberries like in January, they're not in season in our local area. They have to ship them from California. And all of that shipping is really taxing on our environment. Also, those fruits, you know, like when you get bananas and they're like green, they pick the bananas before they're ripe. And then they get yellow on our way to the store and then get further ripe when they get at home. More nutrients are in your food when they can ripen on the vine, when they don't have to travel as far. So when we can get our tomatoes, for example, from New Jersey, they might have picked those tomatoes from the vine that morning. They're so fresh. And you can taste the difference when you eat them and they're like so juicy and delicious. You can tell the difference between a peach or a tomato that was grown in New Jersey versus one that's coming from California. And that's because it had more time to ripen on the vine. And the more ripening on the vine, the healthier it is and the more delicious it is, all right? So I just wanted to share that little bit about why it is important for us to try to eat locally as much as possible. Hey, Sia, can I see your face? I'm gonna take a picture. Sia. Okay, all right, you guys ready to start cooking? Yes, okay. All right, so we are going to start, and again, if you do not have all the ingredients, I'm sorry, but we'll do the best we can. These are a little bit fancy ingredients. I try not to do too much fancy stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What are we making today?
We are going to be making creamed spinach and ranch dressing. But we're going to use only plant-based milks in our recipe. All right. All right. So we're basically going to use, in our cream spinach, and that's what we're going to do first, we are going to use the spinach and the scallions from your bags. All right. All right, let's get started. Now, again, these recipes were a little fancy and asked for a lot of stuff. So if you don't have it, I understand. But what I will say is that a lot of these ingredients, I will put together a shopping list, because if you're trying to go more plant-based, a lot of these ingredients you're gonna just wanna have and start putting on your grocery list, particularly around like coconut oil, a lot of the herbs, like we'll use that all the time. All right, let's see. Can you see me? Okay. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do to make our cream spinach is we are going to take one of the bunches. Oh, by the way, I didn't go over what you guys got in your bag. So you guys got these beautiful red apples. You guys got a lot of apples too, didn't you? Kind of a lot. But they gave you like 7 apples. By the way, if you're trying to figure out what to do with all those apples, it would be really great to make applesauce. You can do that, and I'll send a recipe. I didn't include it because it usually takes a lot of time to cook them, but I will share a recipe. You guys also got this beautiful lettuce. And did you guys notice how the roots are like this? These lettuce is what we call, is grown hydroponic. Say that with me, say hydroponic. Hydroponic. That means this lettuce was actually grown in water, not in the ground. A lot of places are starting to grow things hydroponically so that we can have like a good option if we don't have green space. So some people like me, I don't have a yard, so I couldn't grow things like, you know, in my backyard, but they're starting to think about ways that you can grow things in water. And then you guys got scallions. So scallions are really delicious. They're a really good version of onions. What I like about these onions are that today we're going to just use the white part, but this part is really, really good on like when you make tacos or burritos or like a baked potato. These are really, really yummy when you sprinkle them on top of other recipes. And then of course we have our spinach, which we already, so not bad. All right, so the first thing we are going to do for our cream spinach is that we're only going to use the white part of our scallions. Our recipe called for onions, but you can definitely use scallions because they are kind of an onion. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off the very end of it. We're gonna cut off the tip. And kids, your parents are close, so they're watching you cut, right? We're just gonna cut off the ends. And then maybe like 3 or 4 at a time, we're just gonna chop them up pretty small. Maybe like this much, little, just slicing them very skinny. And we're just gonna chop off the white part all the way up. When it starts to turn green, we can keep going up until where it starts to get leafy. This is actually gonna be really delicious in our cream spinach. It's gonna taste a little bit different than regular. So I stopped at about here. So all of the white part and the light white part, we left on there. And I'm chopping up the whole bunch, especially since you have a whole other bunch to use for other things, Let's use that whole bunch. Well, I should say if you're like me, and I love, 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 love onions. Love, love, love onions. Sometimes when I cook, I put cooked onions and raw onions. Just don't come close to me because I smell very oniony. All right. Hello. I see it. Did you have a question? All right. So once we chop up, as you're continuing to chop, that's fine. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up our garlic. Now, in our first class, I was showing you that I usually get that thing that is like it's already chopped up, but I haven't gone back to the store, so I have to continue using garlics like this. But what I will tell you is that I still buy them already peeled because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. So I try to always use shortcuts when I can. So we're going to use, again, depending on how much onion or garlic you like. I like a lot of garlic, so I'm going to use 4 cloves. You can use 2 cloves. It depends on how much you like. As we are doing this, I want to share with you that white foods are garlic, white foods are onions. White foods are very, very good for our hearts. And they're also very good for antibacterial. So they fight infection, and they're very, very good for our hearts. So using a lot of onions, a lot of fresh onions, and a lot of fresh garlic are really, really, really good for us. I'm actually going to add 5 because I just love them. All right. Okay. So once that's done, you can go ahead and you can just put that to the side for a second. Before we move on to sauteing our onions and garlic, and also you guys remember, all of our recipes have started like this, haven't they? Strawberry, your eyes are burning from the onions. Oh no. You gotta wash your hands. Yeah, be careful not to touch your eyes with garlic or anything spicy, like if we're cooking with peppers. All of our recipes have started with olive oil or some kind of oil, onions and garlic. When we're cooking plant-based, it seems that that's always the base. It always is kind of like the foundation for it tasting really delicious. All right, so when you're making cream spinach, a lot of times you can do it from like fresh spinach, which is good. But actually, using frozen spinach, it's kind of like a shortcut. We don't have to cook it as long. So what we're going to do is we're gonna put this in a strainer and then let the water run over it. So it gets thawed out, nice and soft. And when this is done, since it's already kind of processed, it's already been processed, right? We don't have to cook it quite as long. So we are going to, I've got my strainer here, or my colander. Let me get my scissors. And we're gonna just open up that bag. Sean, did you wash your hands? Are they burning? Oh no. I know. All right, so we are going to just go ahead and put our spinach in the colander and let the water run over it until it just thaws out, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that back here. I don't know if you can see me. Yep. I'm going to just go ahead and just let that run out. I already did that so I could save that step, but once you do that, then you're gonna squeeze all of the water out of the spinach. You're gonna squeeze it all out and then you're gonna put it to the side. So once you thaw it out, it's gonna look like that. Once you thaw it and then you squeeze all the water out, it's gonna look like that. See ya, I like your background. So while you guys are, while you're letting your spinach kind of thaw out, we can go ahead and start cooking our onions. So again, I don't know if you have this or not. Again, I apologize for that. But this entire cream spinach is really based on coconut oil and coconut milk. So this is the coconut oil I get it from Trader Joe's. You guys will notice a theme. I pretty much do all of my shopping at Trader Joe's because it's like Trader Joe's is generic, so they don't have any brands. It's a little bit cheaper. So this is like a thing of coconut oil at like Target is going to be like literally like $7.99. This is like $3.99 at Target. I mean at Trader Joe's. So we are going to take.
And if we don't have coconut oil, just use regular milk?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have coconut oil, then if you have like any kind of oil, it's any kind of
oil. Any oil? Okay.
Yep. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of oil, whatever your oil is. Put that on your stove over medium and let it get nice and warm. And while you are doing that and letting the oil melt, in my case, or get hot, you can go ahead and start to pull out your seasonings. So for this, we're just going to be using red pepper flakes, which are really, really nice in that, and salt. Is that it? Onions, garlic, red pepper flakes, and salt. Yep. You could add a pinch of nutmeg. Sometimes when people make cream spinach, you add just like a little pinch of nutmeg. It just is nice to balance out that milky and spicy. It's like giving it a little bit of smoke. So if you had nutmeg, that's good. If you don't, not a big deal. How's your spinach looking? Is it thawing out? Still working on it? Working on it? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. My oil's about ready. So I'm going to go ahead and add my onions and garlic, which I have here. I'm going to go ahead and add all my onions and garlic to the pan. You want your oil to be hot enough so when you drop it in there, it sizzles. So mine wasn't quite hot enough, but that's all right. There it goes. There it goes, the sizzle. And then you're just gonna like, just continuing to stir it a little bit so it doesn't burn. That starts smelling good immediately. I love the way onions and garlic smell when they're cooking. You guys doing okay? Shauna Berry, how have you been? You know I miss you so much. You're good? You know I miss my mans. I love seeing you on here. I must give you a big hug. All right. I don't know about you guys, but this onion and the garlic is smelling good. Once it starts getting its sizzle on, and if your spinach is all ready to go, then you're going to just go ahead and add that right to the pan. The way that we're cooking it too is, again, we're always trying to think about ways that we can cook our food so we don't try to take all the nutrients out of it. So we're not trying to cook it until it's brown. We're cooking it until we want to try to keep that real vibrant green look. Hi, sister. Let's see it, sister. All right, so once you get your spinach in the pan, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna toss it around so it's nice and...
Excuse me. How much spinach?
Huh?
How much spinach?
I used the whole bag.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I used the entire bag too.
If you feel like it needs a little bit more oil, like I do, I'm going to add a little bit more oil. So mine is starting to look like this. I wish we could share smells over Zoom because it smells amazing. All right. So while that's cooking, we're just gonna let that cook for like a minute or two. And we're gonna go ahead and add our salt, pepper, and red pepper flakes. We're gonna add that to that spinach as it's cooking so it can kind of get into the spinach. Just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, nothing crazy. And then we add our pepper flakes. And again, if you like spicy, like we do, not too much. This is calling for a pinch. So be careful with your red pepper flakes because they can overdo it real fast. I mean, I just have like a little teeny bit. This is the kind of, you know how this is. You just wanna, you can add later, but you can't take away. So we wanna be easy with that. All right, once you add that, you're gonna pull it back to like a low. So that's us just getting all of those seasonings really baked into the spinach while that's cooking. So then the next part, we are going to go ahead, reduce the heat, and then add the coconut milk. So again, if you didn't get a chance to go to the store, if you don't have coconut milk, that's fine. Again, back to my Trader Joe's. I never even realized I cooked so much with Trader Joe's until I'm showing it to y'all. But I get my, again, from Trader Joe's, I think it's 99 cents. You want to use the canned, when you're using coconut milk, you want to use the canned. All right, Sean, ready. You want to use the canned coconut milk. It's because we're using the full fat because that is what's really good. So we're going to go ahead and open up that can. And if it's got like stuff on the top, that's okay. It'll break down once we start cooking with it. And we're gonna use about half a cup, like 1/3 to half a cup of coconut milk. I'm gonna use half a cup because I think that it needs it. So I just go ahead, and then we are going to go ahead and just pour that right into our pot.
And if no coconut milk, can I use lactose-free milk? That's about all the milk I got in my house.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'll definitely give a coconut milk for the next one.
Yeah. And then you're just stirring it up. Yeah, see, I think it needs more than that. Let's do a whole cup of milk. This recipe's a little off because we want it real creamy. And once that gets all mashed together, yeah. I actually added an additional a cup of milk. That is better. So I'll modify that recipe. That is 1.5 cups, and that's more like it. It's looking like this. I mean, you know what cream, it's, you know, you want it to be looking creamy. So we're just gonna let that cook out for like another couple of minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes, and that's it. Yeah, I think that 1.5 cups is really better. Yeah, you could use any milk. I mean, if you're using.
Miss Jiana,
Yeah.
look.
Oh, yum! Oh, that looks good. Delish. I hope you guys like it. But again, this is a super simple, easy recipe. Does not take long. A really good use of that, the spinach and the scallions that were in your bag. We're just letting that simmer out for a few minutes. Let me give it a taste and see how it's doing so far. That is good. Now, I would add a little bit more salt to that.
I don't trust you.
Did you taste it yet?
No.
Oh.
I did not taste it yet because I'm not done.
That's good. Simple. I would probably serve that over some brown rice. I would probably serve that with brown rice, and I would probably have that with tofu. But if you're still, you know, you're eating chicken or whatever, if you put that over some brown rice and then like your chicken on the side, that's solid. That creaminess is good. That's good. I'm actually gonna add, I am adding a little bit more salt. Again, it's just sea salt, but you're just seasoning to taste. And this is what mine looks like. Pretty good. Just be careful not to overcook it, but that is it. I admit I haven't used this recipe since after school program, so it's been a little while, but I like it. The spinach is still a little crunchy, but it's good. It doesn't take away from anything. And that's good too, because we don't want to overcook it. When it's like super soft, like we basically overcooked it. This is also a nice recipe too, because we kind of miss like creamy stuff when you're, you know, we know that we miss like cheese and creamy things when you're eating more plant-based, but this is a good kind of filler for it. See, are you guys tasting your cream spinach?
I tasted, but I didn't taste a lot of cream.
You didn't taste a lot of cream? Do you guys like it? A little bit.
I don't like spinach.
Uh-huh. Jaden, did you taste it?
I ate it with my chicken nuggets. I just wanted.
No, I'm about to try it right now.
Okay, I cannot wait to see if you guys like it.
I ate spinach before.
You ate it
But
before?
I did not like it. Yes, but I still didn't like it.
Jaden, what do you think? Jaden, you look uncertain.
Chicken
Jaden,
nuggets are good.
it's a no for Jaden.
Chicken nuggets are good for you.
Spinach is so good for you.
That's not chicken nuggets and mac and cheese are. And grilled cheese. And the best game to play is Fortnite.
How did
That's
Fortnite?
a no. I do not like this.
That's a no. All right, that's fair. At least you tried it. Sia, what do you think?
Your spinach is good. This is different.
It is.
This is the first time I ate spinach by itself and liked it.
You know what, too? Do you guys remember? I'm sure, like in your cooking classes, it takes like 17 times to try something. It might take you 17 times to try something and like it. So if you taste something the first time and you don't like it, you should still give it another shot at another time. It's just kind of like when I was little, when I was your age, I used to hate tomatoes. I just didn't like them. But I kept trying them over time and now I love them. So even if you don't like it today, maybe you'll like it another time. Especially because spinach is really, really good for you. No? No, Sean? I also am going to share with you all, I don't know if I did yet, but if I hadn't, I should. This is not a good recipe for frozen spinach, but the green smoothie that we make is, the base is apples and spinach. You cannot even taste the spinach in there. That's really good.
Okay, I'm in cooking class. Talk to me after I'm done cooking class. Unless if you can make a better
Jaden,
type of spinach
I'm like, not crazy about this
until
like you just went straight to the apple, so thumbs up on that. How's the apple?
Good. It's good.
Good. Is it sweet?
Yeah, sweet.
Good. Does anybody ever have apples with peanut butter on it?
what?
You haven't had that?
But I had it with syrup on it. It was kind of good.
Sure.
Need some more.
Peanut butter?
Just
Peanut butter
more.
apples is kind of like the best snack ever. If you can have peanuts. I mean, a lot of people have peanut allergies, but if you don't, and you can eat peanut butter, it is so good. Like sometimes if it gets really late and I haven't eaten lunch, and if I didn't eat lunch yet, or maybe late at night and I want a snack, but I kind of want a healthy snack, I'll just have an apple and peanut butter. I don't know why that combination is so good, but it is. So I'm going to assume that you all do not have all the ingredients for this vegan ranch dressing, just because it was definitely a little bit fancy. And the family that was asking for it isn't here today, but I'm going to still show you how to do it while you're finishing up your spinach. Because again, ranch dressing is one of those things that has so much stuff in it. I mean, they put all kind of like dehydrated milk, and I mean, you look at the ingredients of ranch dressing, it's actually kind of frightening. So it's always nice to be able to make your own dressings for your salad. And I'll continue to do that like every week because I think we're gonna have different lettuces in our bags moving forward. So just being able to show you different lettuces. Miss Wiggins, how do you like the cream spinach?
It's good. I like spinach, so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a little sophisticated for kids, but they did really love it in the after school program. So, you know.
I love it.
Good. I know, I'm about to kill it too. So while y'all are sitting and you're finishing up your food, I'm gonna go ahead and make this vegan ranch dressing. So basically, you just put everything in a bowl and you stir together. So I went ahead, again, last week we were talking about saving the jars. Please save your jars. Like these glass jars are so great. I use them over and over again. You'll see this is my old coconut oil bottle. So I'm putting the dressing in here and then you put it right in the refrigerator, it's ready to go. So this is, I went ahead and put the mayonnaise in here. This is 1.5 cups of vegan mayo. Now again, this is a little like, you know, I don't even buy vegan mayo all the time, but it is the kind of thing that's, you know, again, if you're looking to be more plant-based, you know, it is something good to have. So we have our vegan mayonnaise, and then we put a non-dairy milk. So I'm using almond milk because that's just fine. And you're gonna add to your 1.5 cups of mayo, you're gonna add about 1/2 cup of your milk. You're then going to add a teaspoon and a half of your apple cider vinegar. I don't know if you all have this Bragg's apple cider vinegar. This is kind of like, if you don't have this, I actually got this, you know, they have this a lot at like produce markets. I mean, this is like a miracle kind of cure. This is this apple cider vinegar in the raw, when it has this cloudy stuff at the bottom, it's called the mother. It's kind of like miraculous. When we start getting sick around our house, this is the first thing we go to. Ah, Sean O'Berry, you have some. Cheers. 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 This is magical. If you are sick, take a shot of this. In fact, I do this with, and mix it with honey and a little bit of water and just like do a shot of it. And my son swears by it too. So he went to college and is like, Mom, I need some apple cider vinegar. It's kind of one of those things you just kind of want to keep on hand. So we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of vinegar in there. And then we're going to go ahead and add our garlic again. Fresh garlic is great for this, but honestly, sometimes I don't have it, so I'll just use regular garlic powder, and that is fine. Again, I'm doing it right in here, so I don't have to do anything extra. And actually, the fresh garlic will make this another level. All right. Then we have 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, which I do not have, so we're skipping. And with any of these recipes, especially when it comes to the herbs, if you don't have it, just skip it. And
what's going to be a replacement of parsley?
Say what?
What's going to be a replacement of parsley? If you don't have parsley, what are you going to use to replace it?
You know what? I'm not going to replace it with anything. I'm just not going to have it, but it's still going to be really good.
I never had. I don't think I had parsley.
In fact, I'm going to get you guys some herbs in the next delivery because they're so good. All right, so we're going to put a teaspoon of dill in there. Dill is
especially rosemary.
Say what?
I think I said rosemary too.
Oh, rosemary. I love rosemary. Then we're going to do a teaspoon of onion powder. This is powder. A teaspoon of that. Then paprika. Paprika is kind of like, gives it a smoky kind of taste. So we're going to just do 1/4 teaspoon of that. And then 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, which I'm going to do right in there. then
I love the box. And I love the boxes you send us.
you love the box that I'm gonna send you?
Especially the apples and the strawberries.
Yeah. I'm
We
trying to,
got rid of them really quickly. We almost got rid of them
oh
in
good.
one day.
Wow.
What are you going to be sending next? Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries?
Something. All right, so I put everything in there. I put a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there and just shake it up. This is always the case with these dressings. If you put it right into the jar and you just shake it up.
Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up.
I'm gonna tell you guys what this tastes like. Not bad. Not bad.
I trust you because everything that you say is good is actually good.
Well, thank you. I tried.
Thank you on.
Here you go.
I want some.
It's pretty good. Now, one thing I will say about this,
So it's like almost. So like what is it?
say what?
There's a sauce. Like what is it called? Like there are different kinds of sauces, like A and an aioli sauce. So like what kind of sauce is this?
This is ranch. This is ranch dressing.
I forgot we're making our own ranch.
Right.
I totally forgot. I was so worried about the spinach.
Don't worry. No worries. Ooh, I'm making a mess. I think this is good. Now, I will say that with this, and probably like a lot of things, like even with the spinach, you kind of have to get used to it. Like when you're starting to eat more plant-based, it does kind of change your palate a little bit. We're used to being food, like if you had compared this to a regular ranch dressing, we're so used to everything being like really highly flavored. Like they put so much sodium in it. They put a lot of sugar in things so that it's like it activates all of our taste buds. When we do things like this, it kind of takes it down a little bit. So I think it's delicious. I think that it might be a little bit mature for some kids, but in any case, I did want to just show you an alternative. The other thing too, I will say to this is that it's a little thin. So I think adding a little bit more, probably a little bit less of the milk is better. So I would probably use that 1/2 cup versus, I'm sorry, 1/4 cup versus a 1/2 cup. But I think it's pretty tasty. I will definitely use it. And again,
Jiana, done.
this is also good for like your dips and stuff. So like if you're having your like carrots or broccoli, any of those things that you have fresh, it's really good to have as a dip. I actually really like this. You see, I'm continuing to put my finger in the jar. It's good. Madison, how did you like your spinach? You didn't like it? Uh-oh, you froze. You did like it, kind of.
It's like it doesn't. It just needs some more salt. But like every single time I put more salt, it just needs some more salt. Like,
Yeah, I actually did add a pretty significant amount of salt back in there, but I still think that it's, at least we know what kind of salt is going in it, you know? It's like, as long as we know, it's better than buying something and then we have no idea. Like if you were to buy a can of cream spinach, I cannot even imagine the amount of salt and sugar and stuff that they're putting in here, where at least we know exactly what we're putting in there.
That's the best about making stuff from scratch.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. Shauna Berry, did you try your ranch dressing?
I don't know her name.
Didn't try it? that is the end of our cooking class today. I was trying to keep it shorter because I know kids get a little rambunctious, and I've been doing like 2 hours, and I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta cut this back. But, oh, Sean's tasting his dressing. Let's see. You like it? Sean, do you really like it? Or are you just saying that? You sure? Oh.
Yes.
Yay! All right.
Let's pick up parsley.
Ah, you know what? I feel like I'm definitely missing the parsley. Can I have some? Can you share it with me? Hand it over. Ah! Wouldn't that be cool if we could just reach through the screen and give each other stuff? That would be cool. They're gonna have to fix that, especially if we have to stay inside.
We've been at parsley.
Hey!
Hi.
Demarius, I didn't know that that was your brother and that was your mom. Demarius, how are you gonna be on these calls and now just saying hello to me?
Hello.
I cannot believe.
You want to come try the spinach?
I want to know, did you like it? Demarius is in my youth wellness council at Southwest 2 years ago. I did not even know that was his brother.
Yeah.
Okay, he's trying it now. He's gonna tell you.
Okay, I'm about to eat that whole pot.
He said it's okay. It's good. Oh, see, I got him one good.
Okay, it's different. And you know, parents, like when you're trying to these new things, like a lot of times kids' first reaction is just gonna be like, I don't like it because it's new. But please continue to try exposing them to it. And next week we'll do something a little bit more standard. Like I said, I did this kind of by request. It is a little bit more adventurous, but we'll get back to doing more things like spaghetti and chili, you know, like more basic things that, you know, we know that most kids like. All right, so well, I don't want to hold you longer than we need to, but I really enjoy this time together. It's always nice to see you all, and I love having the kids on board. Thank you, parents, for letting them really get their hands, you know, in it and letting them cook. So that's a lot of fun. I will be in touch again. Every week I'm trying my hardest. They don't give me the foods that they order until like Thursday, so it ends up being like a really quick turnaround. So every week I'm just trying to be like, tell me as soon as possible so that I can put together recipes, put together the flyers, and then get everything back to you. So we will try another week, but we're gonna be here for a while. This is going through August, so we'll have plenty of time to get it right. But in any case, if you do have questions or any thoughts.
Oh, Jiana.
Yes.
I thought you said the camp start June 6th, not July 6th.
July 6th. You're not even out of school yet.
Wait, but
I have to get some time. I'm just getting your kids together right now. Oh my God, you guys are gonna be so excited to see these kids. They're so cool.
How big are they?
I don't know, because I'm still buying stuff.
Like, is it gonna be like a suitcase or like a small kid?
A suitcase? No, it might be like
a duffel bag.
Something like that. Small duffel bag.
First is 2 weeks Thursday, right?
Yeah. So parents, I'm going to be sending out that the registration form. My goal is to send that out tomorrow so I can get a good handle on who is down to do it. On Thursday, we were cleaning up the community at GLA Southwest, and we were working on our garden. And I did get the go ahead to be able to bring some kids over there. So I'm looking at Fridays potentially being, if parents can do it. I mean, it's all based on your availability, because anything that we did outside of, you know, being virtual and being online, we'd have to have the parents come just because everything that's going on. But I might try to have some garden days so we can try to get some fresh air together and, you know, some things like that. So we're just putting it all together. I just got the green light last week. What did I tell you guys, on Monday or something? Wednesday? So we're just putting it together, but it's coming. I can't wait. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go. Thank you again, as always, for showing up. You guys are my dream team right here. You guys are showing up every week, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your bye, sister. Have a great rest of your weekend and take care. Be careful out there.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, see you. Bye.
Or
Everything we
Bye.
had.
Bye.